Let's look at the same example that we discussed earlier. We have a first order ODE. Dy by dx is equal to 4e to the power of 0.8x minus 0.5y. And the initial condition for y is given to be equal to 2. Since it's a first order ODE, we require only one initial condition to be able to solve the problem. So we are trying to find out, given y0 is equal to 2, we are trying to find out y1, y2, y3, etc. Right? That means the value of y at x is equal to, let's say, 0.1. The value of y at x is equal to 0.2. The value of y at x is equal to 0.3 and so on. So from y0, we are trying to find out y1. Once we find out y1, we will determine the value of y2 and then y3, etc. So it's a marching problem, as you have seen many times. And here in this particular work, because you're going to do it by hand, they have just asked us to look at y value at x is equal to 1 using a step size of h is equal to 1. That means from y0, we have to go to y1 and we need to stop there, and the h size is equal to 1. So this is at x is equal to 0, this is at x is equal to 1, because we are asked to use h is equal to 1. If h is given to be 0.1, then we have to go from y0 to y1 to y2 to y3 to y4 all the way till y10. But we are lucky here, so we are to just demonstrate our understanding for just one step, right? So I hope that is clear. And these are the expressions we are going to employ. These expressions were discussed in the previous presentation. So we know we are going to take this expression and we are going to apply these equations to find out the answer to the question that is posed. The expression for y1 is going to be equal to y0 plus half k1 plus half k2, because w1 and w2 are half each. And y0 is given to be 2 here. And we are trying to find out y1. That means y at x is equal to 1 because the step size is 1. So we have this expression. So for y0, I've just substituted the value of 2. Okay, now all we have to do is to find out the values of k1 and k2. Now k1 equals this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put h is equal to 1 because that's given in the problem. So h is equal to 1. Done. I can put yn is equal to 2 because that's given in the problem. We are at n, we have to find out n plus 1. And Tn is 0 because we are starting from the value of x is equal to 0. So at this point in time, the value of the independent variable is 0. So this is 0, h is 1, yn is 2, all that we know. So we are going to make use of that in writing out expressions for k1 and k2 in the next slide. And that is what happens. So k1 is h multiplied by function evaluated at t0, which is 0 here because we are starting at x is equal to 0, plus 0.2113 times h. H is 1, so it is this, comma, yn, which is 2 as discussed earlier, plus 0.25 times k1 minus 0.0387 k2. So this is k1. So this simplifies to this with h is equal to 1. So 1 times f is just f. So 0 plus 0.2113 is this, and this is retained here. So we are evaluating the function at the independent variable x in this case equals 0.2113, comma, the dependent variable has this value. So wherever I see y in our expression for f, I'm going to put this expression. And wherever I see x, I'm going to put this value so that I can get k1. So that is what I do here. F we know is this, the right hand side, that is f. So wherever I see x, to get k1, I'm going to put 0.2113. Wherever I see y, I'm going to put 2 plus 0.25 k1 minus 0.0387 k2. So that's what I've done here. And if I simplify it, I'm going to get this. I label this as equation 1. And luckily, it happens to be a linear equation. The reason being that our function f has this term 0.5y. So this is linear, as you can see. So when I substitute for y, this expression, it is linear in k1 and k2. But pretend this was 0.5y squared on the right hand side. Then we know this is going to get very complex. right? So luckily for us here, since the function f is linear in y, we are getting this kind of a simple expression which reduces to this. So this is expression 1. To get k2, we adopt a similar approach. Then the expression for k2 when evaluated reduces to this. So now we have two equations and two unknowns for k1 and k2. We can solve for k1 and k2. Again, I wish to iterate that we are solving these two equations, 1 and 2 simultaneously. So that is one of the characteristics of implicit schemes. It will be typically the simultaneous solution of a system of equations. Luckily here, because the function f in this particular question is linear in y, we do not have to go for an iterative technique. Luckily, the system of equations that we have to solve to find out k1 and k2 is linear in nature. So we can solve and we can get k1 is equal to this and k2 is equal to this. And then we take it to the expression for y1 and you substitute the values, you're getting 6.1924. So the value of y at x is equal to 1 is going to be 6.1924 using h is equal to 1. So this is how you apply implicit RK schemes to solve initial value problems. I'll stop here and we'll catch up with you in the next presentation. Thank you for your time.